Dr. Zelia 47 adjusts her scanner, eyes flicking between the ancient artifact and her research notes. A deep sigh escapes her lips. Zelia, another pointless relic. Why do primitive species insist on carving symbols into everything? She taps the metallic lamp absent-mindedly, then rolls her eyes and rubs at a stubborn smudge. The lab shakes. A burst of purple smoke erupts, and a deep, amused voice fills the room. Genie. Oh, you poor, clueless creature. You have no idea what you've just done. The smoke clears, revealing a towering, smug-looking figure dressed in an outlandishly gaudy robe. He stretches, cracking his knuckles. Genie. 1,000 years of silence, and the first words I hear are an alien bitching about symbols. Fantastic. Zelia blinks, her brain processing the impossible sight in front of her. Zelia. You're an energy-based entity with independent thought? How? Genie, grinning. I'm a genie, sweetheart. You rub, I appear. Now, let's get this over with. 3 wishes. No refunds, no exchanges. Try not to be an idiot about it. She adjusts her glasses, struggling to regain composure. Zelia. Wait. You're saying I can wish for anything? Genie, mock offense. Oh no, please. Ask me that again. Makes me feel real special. Zelia, muttering. No need for sarcasm. She hesitates. Her species doesn't need wishes. Technology solves everything. But as her fingers hover over her research tablet, loneliness creeps up on her. Decades of failed experiments, sterile relationships, clinical mating attempts that ended in awkward data collection. Her chest tightens. She exhales. Zelia. Fine. I wish for the perfect lover. A beat of silence. Then, slow, exaggerated clapping. Genie. Wow. Out of infinite possibilities, you go straight for the thirst wish. You aliens act all sophisticated, but deep down? Same old needs. Zelia, frowning. Are you going to grant it or not? Genie, grinning wider. Oh, I am, but you didn't specify species, temperament, or willingness. He snaps his fingers. Another explosion of light. Zelia stumbles back, eyes widening as a towering human man materializes before her, shirtless, blood-spattered, gripping a plasma rifle like he's mid-battle. Jack, panting. What the hell? Where's the goddamn pirate I was about to? His gaze locks onto Zelia. Then the genie. Then the sleek, sterile lab around him. Jack, narrowing his eyes. Oh, this ain't good. Zelia, staring, horrified. What is this? Genie, smirking. Meet Jack Steele, human mercenary, professional ass kicker, and, according to your wish, your perfect lover. Jack, blinking. My what? Zelia, panicking. No, no, no. This isn't what I meant. Genie, grinning like a maniac. Hey, you said perfect lover. You didn't say obedient, submissive, or even cooperative. Jack, pointing at the genie, voice hard. Listen here, you floaty bastard. If this is some intergalactic slavering bullshit, I'm gonna put a bullet in someone. Zelia, raising her hands, flustered. No one's enslaving you. This was a mistake. I was impulsive. Jack, sarcastic. Oh, great. I got wished into existence by a desperate alien scientist. That's new. Genie, mock surprise. You mean to tell me you don't want to be some lonely alien's experimental sex toy? Shocking. Zelia, offended. I didn't summon him for sex. I summoned him for... Jack, deadpan. Don't say companionship. Don't say romance. I swear to God, lady, if you say breeding study, I'm jumping out the nearest airlock. Zelia, bristling. I am not conducting a breeding study. Genie, grinning. Yet. Zelia, frustrated sigh. Can I undo this? Genie, fake gasp. Oh no, honey. No Baxes. He's yours now. Jack, folding his arms, eyes sharp. Correction, I belong to no one. Genie, mocking. Oh, look at you two. Already bickering like an old married couple. Zelia groans, pressing her fingers to her temples. Jack sighs and rubs his jaw, muttering to himself. Jack, under his breath. Gotta be a dream. Just gotta be. The genie winks. Genie. Oh, sweetheart. This is just the beginning. Snap. The genie vanishes, leaving Zelia and Jack alone in tense silence. Jack slowly turns back to her, expression unreadable. Jack sighs, then gestures to himself. All right, Doc. Since I'm apparently stuck here, what exactly were you expecting from your perfect lover? Zelia swallows hard, her mind suddenly blank. Zelia. I may have made an error in judgment. Jack, grinning for the first time, voice thick with amusement. Oh, sweetheart. You have no idea. Beat. Jack, dryly. Now, where's the bar? Jack. Let me get this straight. You rubbed a magic lamp, wished for the perfect lover, and instead of some obedient, lovesick prince, you got me? Zelia, arms crossed, scowling. It wasn't supposed to be you. I was expecting someone more compliant. Jack, grinning. Oh, sweetheart, you're really batting 1,000 today. Zelia, annoyed. You are biologically compatible with me, at least. The genie must have chosen based on some optimal reproductive factors. Jack, raising an eyebrow. Did you just reduce me to a glorified sperm donor? Zelia, huffing. Don't flatter yourself. I was aiming for an intellectual connection. Emotional depth. Not a trigger-happy human brute. Jack, mock offense. Brute? Listen, lady, I may be rugged, but I've got layers. Like an onion. A sexy, well-armed onion. Zelia, rubbing her temples. This is already a disaster. Jack, leaning against a counter, smirking. You sure? I mean, you could have gotten worse. Imagine if the genie had summoned some drooling caveman or... Zelia, deadpan. You just threatened to shoot him 30 seconds after arriving. Jack, grinning. Exactly. Now imagine what a real idiot would have done. Zelia, grumbling. I need to assess the situation properly. She picks up a handheld scanner and points it at Jack. Jack, raising an eyebrow. You scanning me for STDs or something? Zelia, irritated. I need a full biological workup. My people use precision and data, not impulse and raw chemistry. Jack, laughing. Oh, you poor, deprived thing. Zelia, glaring. Excuse me? Jack, grinning. You've never just wanted someone, have you? No equations, no checklists. Just want. Zelia, flustered. That's an inefficient way to select a mate. Jack, snickering. Nah, sweetheart. That's the only way. Zelia tightens her grip on the scanner, avoiding his gaze. Jack watches her, amused, before gesturing around. Jack. So what? You live in this fancy lab. No home, no warm bed, no personal touches. Zelia, shrugging. I have quarters. Functionality is more important than aesthetics. Jack, shaking his head. See, this is why aliens always screw up first contact. You're too busy analyzing everything to actually live. Zelia, narrowing her eyes. We've successfully colonized over 50 star systems with minimal warfare. That suggests we're quite adept at thriving. Jack, grinning. Yeah. And yet here you are, so desperate for a lover you had to wish one into existence. Zelia stiffens. Jack watches as her jaw clenches, his grin widening. Zelia, coolly. This was an error, not desperation. Jack, mock surprise. Oh, so you don't want me then? Zelia, firmly. No. Jack, grinning wider. Then why are you still looking at me like that? Zelia, flustered, turning away. I am merely assessing your adaptability. Jack, chuckling. Sure, Doc. Whatever helps you sleep at night. She storms toward a control panel, typing rapidly. Jack watches, arms crossed, clearly enjoying himself. Jack. So what's the plan? Keep me locked up for study? Probe me? Zelia, exasperated. Why does every human assume aliens want to probe them? Jack, grinning. Because we're incredibly attractive, and deep down, you all want a piece of this. Zelia, muttering. Unbelievable. She presses a button. A small robotic drone hovers over and begins scanning Jack. Jack, watching the drone warily. If that thing gets anywhere below the waist, I'm breaking it. Zelia, rolling her eyes. It's collecting standard biometric data. Jack, dryly. Uh-huh. I bet. The drone finishes its scan and beeps. Zelia reads the results, her brow furrowing. Zelia, muttering to herself. Higher than average muscle density, robust cardiovascular system, increased testosterone. Jack, grinning. Go on, Doc. Tell me more about how perfect I am. Zelia, snapping tablet shut. This doesn't change anything. You're still an unplanned variable. Jack, smirking. Unplanned? Huh? I dunno. Feels pretty fated to me. Zelia, deadpan. I will eject you into space. Jack, laughing. Damn. Romance really is dead in this galaxy. She turns, trying to ignore the way he's watching her. He is ridiculously well-formed for a human. Not that it matters. Zelia, firmly. We need to establish boundaries. You will remain here while I determine a way to undo this wish. Jack, mock gasp. You're gonna unwish me? Ouch. Zelia, ignoring him. Until then, no interfering with my work, no touching my equipment, and no unnecessary physical contact. Jack steps closer. Zelia swallows, but holds her ground. Jack, low, teasing. Sweetheart, if you wanted me that bad, all you had to do was ask. Zelia, flustered, stepping back. You are insufferable. Jack, grinning. And yet, here we are. A tense silence stretches between them. Jack watches her, waiting. Zelia inhales sharply, turns on her heel, and marches toward the exit. Zelia, without looking back. Stay put. I mean it. Jack watches her go, arms crossed, an amused expression on his face. Jack, to himself, smirking. Oh yeah. This is gonna be fun. Jack. All right, Doc. You dragged me across the galaxy with your horny genie wish. What now? Zelia, glaring. I was not horny. It was a purely scientific request. Jack, grinning. Sure. You accidentally wished for the perfect lover purely for science. Makes total sense. Zelia, ignoring him, typing furiously at a console. I am calculating a reversal method. You will be returned to your original location soon. Jack, leaning against a counter, watching her. Hate to break it to you, sweetheart, but you're stuck with me. Zelia, not looking up. I doubt that. Everything follows logical principles. Even magic must have rules. Jack, chuckling. Yeah. You think you can logic your way out of a wish? Zelia, gritting her teeth. If I isolate the specific energy signature that brought you here, I may be able to destabilize it. Jack steps behind her, looking over her shoulder. Jack, teasing. You talk like a scientist but panic like someone who just realized she's got a hot guy in her lab and no idea what to do with him. Zelia, whirling around, flustered. I do know what to do with you. I just choose not to engage. Jack, grinning. Uh-huh. You sure? 'Cause from where I'm standing, you're blushing. Zelia, stepping back. I am experiencing a heat fluctuation due to stress. Jack, mock serious. Right, right. And your pupils dilating? That's just scientific curiosity, huh? Zelia, crossing her arms. You are an irritant. Jack, smirking. And yet, you keep talking to me. She exhales sharply and turns back to her console, pretending to be absorbed in her work. Zelia, grumbling. There has to be a way to undo this. Jack, leaning against the table, arms crossed. Ever think maybe you don't want to? Zelia, still typing. Don't be ridiculous. Jack, grinning. Oh, I dunno. Maybe deep down, some part of you is enjoying this. Zelia, deadpan. Yes, because being stuck with an uncooperative human who refuses to follow simple directives is my idea of enjoyment. Jack, shrugging. You could have just wished me away. But you didn't. She stiffens, hands hovering over the console. Jack watches her, amused. Zelia, avoiding eye contact. I need to study the situation thoroughly before making adjustments. Jack, mocking. Sure, Doc. You just want to study me a little longer. Zelia, muttering. I should have wished for someone less aggravating. Jack, grinning. But then you'd be bored. Admit it, you like a challenge. Zelia, scoffing. You are not a challenge. You are an anomaly. Jack, mock offense. An anomaly? Sweetheart, I am a goddamn miracle. She shakes her head, exasperated. Jack watches her, then suddenly grabs a device from the table, flipping it over in his hands. Jack, curious. What's this? Zelia, snatching it back. A neural calibrator. And don't touch things. Jack, raising an eyebrow. Damn. You really got control issues, huh? Zelia, glaring. I prefer order. Jack, grinning. Yeah, I bet you do. Everything just so. No surprises. No excitement. Zelia, firmly. Excitement is unnecessary. Jack, laughing. Sweetheart, you just wished a strange man into your lab because you were lonely. That's the most exciting thing you've ever done. Zelia, flustered. I was not lonely. Jack, grinning wider. Oh, yeah. Then why keep me here? Zelia, stiffening. Because I need more time to... Jack, interrupting, stepping closer. To what? Fix the wish? Or figure out if you actually want me here? A heavy silence. Zelia swallows, looking anywhere but at him. Jack tilts his head, watching her. Jack, softer, teasing. See that right there? That hesitation? That's the truth trying to crawl out. Zelia, shaking her head, firm. You are infuriating. Jack, smirking. And yet, here we are. She exhales sharply and turns back to her console. Jack leans in beside her, watching the screen. Jack, mock innocent. So what happens when you do undo the wish? Zelia, typing quickly. You will return to wherever you were before the summon. Jack, tilting his head. And what if I was mid-battle? What if undoing the wish just drops me back into a gunfight? She hesitates. Jack watches, his grin widening. Jack, grinning. Aw. Didn't think about that, did ya? Zelia, muttering. That would be your problem. Jack, chuckling. Cold, Doc. Real cold. She folds her arms, avoiding his gaze. Jack watches her, amused. Jack, mock serious. So, you gonna miss me when I'm gone? Zelia, flatly. Absolutely not. Jack, grinning. Liar. A charged silence. Zelia presses a button on the console, pretending to focus. Jack leans closer. Jack, low voice teasing. You sure you don't want to give this a real test run before you send me back? Zelia, flustered, stepping back. You are impossible. Jack, smirking. And yet, here we are. She groans, rubbing her temples. Jack, grinning wider. Just admit it, sweetheart. You wished for the perfect lover, and the universe gave you me. Zelia exhales sharply, refusing to look at him. Jack just smiles, arms crossed, entirely too pleased with himself. Jack. All right, Doc, time's up. What's the verdict? Sending me back or keeping me as your lab pet? Zelia, exasperated. You were never meant to stay. Jack, grinning. But here I am. Zelia, pinching the bridge of her nose. You are a complication I did not anticipate. Jack, mock offense. Ouch. And here I thought we were bonding. Zelia, muttering. Bonding is irrelevant. Jack, raising an eyebrow. Says the lady who's been staring at my arms for the last 5 minutes. Zelia, flustered, crossing her arms. I was analyzing muscle density. Jack, chuckling. Uh-huh. 'Cause that requires lingering. She turns back to her console, typing furiously. Jack, leaning closer. You're stalling. Zelia, avoiding eye contact. I am calculating. Jack, smirking. Sure. Just happens to take longer when I'm standing next to you. Zelia, gritting her teeth. You are a disruption. Jack, grinning. And yet, you haven't kicked me out. She stiffens. He watches her, amused. Jack, softly. Maybe you don't want to. A charged silence. Zelia, barely audible. That is illogical. Jack, grinning wider. But not untrue. She exhales sharply, turning away. Jack watches her, amused. Jack, teasing. So what if I wanted to stay? She freezes. He steps closer, voice low. Jack, grinning. What if I like this weird lab? This weird scientist? This weird situation? She swallows hard, gripping the console. Jack, softer. What if I chose to stay? She turns slowly, searching his face. Zelia, quietly. That was not part of the wish. Jack, shrugging. Maybe wishes are overrated. A pause. Her expression flickers, doubt, hope, fear all colliding. Jack, grinning, stepping back. So, what now, Doc? She exhales, looking at him, really looking at him. And then, finally, she smiles.